Do you have a timber deck at home? What maintenance do you perform on it? Or do you do nothing at all? Now, unfortunately, a timber deck does require upkeep, unlike this platform that had been neglected. Let me show you what I did here to get it from its sad state to something that I don't mind having around in the garden. Now, although this may not resemble your deck in size and shape, the maintenance principles remain the same. But what do we need to do? So this Baloo timber deck has been assembled with standard wood screws. Some have pulled through the timber, others are missing, some have snapped. So out with the old screws and in with new stainless steel screws. Stainless steel is designed for the outdoors and has a much longer lifespan. And yes, even stainless steel after many years can get surface rust on it, especially in coastal regions. But the screws here will probably still outlast the timber. Now, some of these screw heads here were badly damaged and couldn't be removed, so I simply screwed in a stainless steel screw next to it so that it looks uniform. Whatever product was originally used has served its time. There really is not much here to show you. So I sanded the entire surface with a coarse 60 grit sandpaper and followed that up with 120 grit to give us a smooth, clean surface. Once the sanding is done, I wipe down the surface with turpentine on a rag. This is the last chance we have in assuring that the timber is ready for the sealant and free of dust. Now, when sealing your deck, you have a few options from a number of manufacturers. I'm focusing on the Woodok range simply because it's a very well-known brand and Woodok has a range of deck-specific products. Deck sealant is ideal for softer, more porous timber types like pine and Meranti, as it penetrates deeply to protect against moisture, UV rays and general wear. Now, it helps prevent issues like warping and color fading. Deck dressing, on the other hand, is suited for harder woods with the same benefits, such as this Baloo timber and teak. It's lower viscosity, meaning it's more runny, and it allows it to penetrate the dense grains of the hardwood more effectively, enhancing their durability and extending lifespan. This is food for wood. Use a quality varnish brush which has finer bristles and therefore minimal brush strokes once dried. Now, don't get a fright when you first start putting on the sealant. It is going to look very dark, and when it dries, as you can see here, it certainly will lighten. Now, before we put on the second coat, and it's a minimum 3 coats that have been recommended, I'm going to give it a quick scrub with some steel wool and turpentine. This will just roughen up that surface slightly and allow for the second and subsequent coats to adhere better. But let the third coat dry undisturbed. For future coats, simply scrub the surface with steel wool, remove the dust and reapply. There's no need to sand it down to bare wood. Now, both Woodok products, in this case golden brown, come pre-tinted and dry to a semi-gloss, almost matte finish, depending on the timber type. Hardwoods may appear slightly glossier than softwoods. These sealants and dressings are also suitable for balustrades, handrails, doors, door frames and other timber that is exposed to harsh weather. So this end piece of timber is missing, it's rotted off. All I've done is I've simply screwed on a length of 22 by 44 millimeter pine just to give me some meat to attach the screws. I can then place my strip of Meranti. Yes, it is a slightly different wood. There might be a slight color variation, be that as it may. Position that in place, hand trace the curvature to follow the circle and then cut that out with a jigsaw. Give it a light sanding, screw it into place and apply the same Woodok deck sealant. Decks cannot be left to their own devices. The longer you leave it, the more work you're probably going to have to do in the future. But it's also impossible to say how often it needs to be done. Trust me, you'll know when it's time to refresh your deck. You'll see that it's looking tired. This lovely Thunder Bistro set, all the products I've used today, as well as a host of other timber care products are available both in-store or online at builders.co.za. For more videos like this, check out the blog on the website. It's due day for home DIY work. Get to Builders, get it done.